Today we actually have some important updates, and I've prepared some information. But yeah, this is gonna be my time. I think Saturdays we're not gonna do like the actual podcast episodes. It's gonna be my time to just communicate with you guys and be upfront about what we've been working on and some of the bigger developments in Altura itself. Today we're focusing on just seeing through the chaos. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in politics right now with the economy. To all my military friends, the government shut down. I know it's been hard on you guys. I want to talk about what we've been working on, but I also just want to take time to bring people together. I mean, this has been a shitty couple months for a lot of you. And it feels like the world is very loud right now, but not very clear. And I think what we need right now, and especially in these hard times, to adapt is clarity, right? You can't even adapt to circumstances if you're not even fully clear on what's actually happening, right? That's when there's smoke, bombs, gunshots going off basically like in the battlefield, and you don't even know which way is up or down or which way the shots are coming from. How are you going to plan an attack? How are you going to come together and figure out your way through? You can't. It's almost virtually impossible to do that. So you need some sort of method to see through the madness. And I'm going to actually try and give you the answers to that today. I think I have a solution that can help you out. It feels like headlines, though, right now are like designed to essentially stimulate you. Like every time you turn on the news, you're just seeing bullshit that's specifically there to keep people divided and also keep people distracted from what's actually moving. I just put this out the other day, but BlackRock, they just liquidated $1 billion of Bitcoin. I saw a video on my Instagram of some girl that was looking at the trades, and she's like, what do they know that we don't? And this was like 4 days ago. And then yesterday, tariffs were not imposed, but were announced to be imposed November 1st on China, which obviously tanked Bitcoin, tanked the economy. A perfect buying opportunity for BlackRock, might I say. It's like they had some sort of information beforehand. I don't know. I'm just drawing potential hypotheses here. I'm not stating any facts, but I'm just a guy that can see things, see connections in things. But opportunity, right? It feels like it keeps moving out of reach for the common person. It feels like the average person is getting harder and harder to actually do the things that honestly 5 to 8 years ago was like amazing, right? Being able to start a company, being able to get off the ground, being able to save some extra money, being able to feel like you could actually get to retirement. In 2015, 2018, like to those years, it was still pretty good. But now in 2025, it's like, it's being dangled in front of you, just slightly out of reach. And every time you like, oh yeah, I actually might have some money to save for retirement or do X, Y, Z, gets pulled a little bit further away and life gets harder and harder for most of you. If you guys can relate to any of that, just drop something in the comments. It feels like that's the way the world's been. Like it's not the same world. It's like the world stopped being the world after like 2020. When COVID started. I want to focus on the people that are genuinely having issues. I want to give you guys actual help because I've been there. I still honestly am here. I'm still figuring out the same issues most of us are. It's why I started Altura. It's why I'm doing any of this. And hopefully we all come together and get a little bit more clarity here. I want to talk about Vision AI. It's a tool that we launched in Altura Society, and it's kind of dedicated to that purpose. Also, there's no sale here because it's 100% free. And I just want to talk about how I think it can help you guys. But in addition to that, quite a few other things that I think could actually be the light at the end of the tunnel for you guys. More importantly, I think all this relates to something bigger, and it's clarity. Like I said, becomes the new currency, right? There's a lot of currencies now. There's some people say water is the new gold, right? There's going to be a water shortages in the future. Some people say AI is the new future. Some people say attention is the new currency on social media. But in my opinion, clarity and understanding what's actually going on is kind of the solution to all of those. If you understood why BlackRock liquidated $1 billion before the tariff announcements, and you understood that they had some sort of competitive advantage, you can understand that there's probably something going on at these higher levels that most of us therefore are getting left out on. The vision and clarity is absolutely key in times of being able to navigate the chessboard that is life. But more importantly, without corruption, without all the other stuff going on, let's just say this. Let's say vision is more important to understanding where you want to go. Because if you're on the chessboard and the opponent makes a move that you don't quite understand, first of all, I'd say there's always an intent behind their moves. I would always assume that your opponent, which is BlackRock, which is corporations, which is people that are winning when you're losing, are always one step ahead. So never take it as they're just giving you a free win. There's no such thing as a free lunch. There's always a benefit to the other side. And if you don't see it, it means that you haven't figured it out yet. That's the only survivalistic mechanism that keeps you safe in the economy. It's how the rich people continue to get richer because they don't take anything at face value. They're always questioning. And I know that's putting you in a life of whatever, constantly scanning. And it's a little bit more nerve-wracking than just being placid and living a calm life, but it's what makes you rich. And if you don't want to be rich, then you don't follow that advice. It's that simple. But being able to see the chess move and understand how your response to that either continues your strategy or you're playing defense to their strategy. And being able to navigate the board and understand why moves were made and seeing the vision behind that is what Vision AI helps you do. Okay? So that's my rant. And I'm going to show you guys how it gives you clarity for demand, on demand for your ideas, your offers, your funnels, your roadmaps. You can move while everyone else freezes. And if you guys are watching the podcast right now, you can go to alturasociety.com. You can sign up for free. Just hit top right corner to log in or get access. You just put an email and password in, and then you can access Vision AI while I'm actually still talking to you, and you can kind of work through it. I think clarity is the new currency, and it means that communities, especially that have clarity, have leverage because you have many people working toward the same outcome at once, which is more than a corporation, which is more than people with money that don't really give a shit anymore because they don't have to, because they already have what they need. And how you can flip the game on its script. You can flip the script on its heels is what I meant to say. And more importantly, how I've already set up a system called the ALTURA points and how we're setting up access to actually participate in that. And this is a challenge with a share of what would potentially be $100 million value pool if we hit $1 billion market cap when we launch our cryptocurrency down the line, which several other communities have already doubled, quadrupled, 6x that already, like Pudgy Penguins, Bored Ape Yacht Club. So it's very easy to do in terms of the roadmap we have planned and what we're doing to build and grow value over time. So again, if you're new here, go to alturasociety.com. You can get Vision AI free, but let's get into it. Okay, according to my notes, I want to start out with something that's very obvious. The world feels chaotic. I already said that. One day it's tariffs. The next day it's inflation prints, then a new policy, then a new headline. It feels like you can't leave the news be because something else is just going to keep popping up. That's why you always hear the rich people say that the first thing you need to do to get rich is stop watching the news, because it's there to a lot of times purposely get you sucked in. They make money based off viewership and you never actually change anything. All you do is get stressed out. You just hyperfixated. And the fact of the matter is you're not going to be able to change the news or have an impact on your life. Things are just going to keep happening to you unless you have the resources and the ability to act yourself. So all you can do otherwise when you watch the news is just complain. I'm not personally getting anything out of that. So I'd rather get money, get access to resources, and then come back in, watch the news and say, okay, now how can I actually make an impact on this information now? Okay. So the story otherwise ends the same. It's the individual entrepreneur is just guessing. And I know so many people that got fucked out of $20,000 to $30,000 on crypto from this tank in the price, which again, I'm telling you is just market manipulation, and it's going to go back up pretty soon. We're not here to pick political fights. I'm not blaming either side of the aisle. I know that we're still at debate and discussion, even trying to get a fucking budget passed, which is crazy, leaving tons of people out of access to resources that they need to survive. That's just disgusting in my opinion, but I'm not blaming a certain party in this. I think both sides are equally accountable, and I'd rather see us get a solution put together for this. I'm subject to the rules and standards that I respect, especially, I've been in the military, and so I want to respect the non-criticism of direct parties, but I'm also allowed to speak clearly about systems. And the system right now rewards scale and slowness, not speed and initiative, right? We've been taught going through college, going through social media that you need to be quick, you need to be adaptive, but right now it rewards institutions with buffers and not builders with actual ideas. So everything we learned about being creative and insightful and stuff, that's not going to get you where you need to be. You have to have connections already. You have to be in the game. You have to know somebody. You have to have a certain last name to win. And as much as you guys want to say I'm a shitbag or I'm just lying to you, that's the honest truth of it. And I will take that debate with anybody any day. If you have the right last name, if your family was born into wealth, you have an automatic advantage. And I come from a middle-class family. I see people that never had to work a day in their life. They just inherit their father's business. And to me, that's great, but I honestly would rather have the work ethic. And I believe in this system where you can come from anywhere and make your impact and put in the work to make something true for yourself. That's the American dream. The question that this episode tonight answers is, how do you see clearly enough to move without waiting for permission from someone and without gambling your future in leverage or whatever on noise to try to give you an output? My answer is this: you need two things. Okay, so the first one is a lens that helps you process chaotic inputs into calm decisions. It's a framework, right? If you don't know how to think, how are you going to think? You need to learn how to think about thinking. Does that make sense? Because, right, if you're it's like a computer program. If I put in 1 and the computer program says double whatever number I give you, it's going to give you 2, right? And so if I say subtract 1 and I put in 10, it's going to give me 9, right? It's just a basic equation. Your brain is the computer program. So if I say I'm a bad person, I can't accomplish anything, my brain hears that subconsciously, just like the computer program, and I don't get to control that a lot of time. And the brain's impact is I'm gonna make decisions, I'm gonna take actions that reinforce that I'm a bad person because I tell that to myself, which is why self-talk, manifestation is so important because you can't see it, which is why it's even scarier, because then every time you say something, think a bad thought, you are tarnishing your ability to succeed in the future. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Okay, that's the first part. That's the first thing you need, is a framework to think about thinking. And then second, you need a circle of people, ideally people, that compounds your execution, because nobody builds anything by themselves. You need people with resources that can complement yours. If you want to build anything large, name one Fortune 500 company out there that exists with one person. It's always a team. It's hundreds or thousands of employees. So you always have to surround yourself with people who can do things and have skills that you can't. You're not a vampire. You haven't lived 1,000 years. You haven't learned every skill ever. Even if you were a vampire and you can never die, e-commerce is growing right now the same rate that AI is growing, the same way that, advertising is growing. You have to be a master of many different spheres, and you just don't have enough hours in the day to catch up with the developments of all of these things at the same time. So you need people that focus on different options. How do you find the people, and how do you learn how to think? Now you can take Iman Gadji's course, right? Educate.io, pay $1,200, and it's gonna just throw videos at you, and you can choose to pay attention, or you can do what I did and basically sit on my phone because I was so bored watching them that I couldn't even focus. And then I'm like, okay, well, there's actual homework. Let me look at this. It's just a PDF that just is basically a transcript of what they were saying in the video. That didn't change my life. Iman, I love you, man, but that didn't change my life. $1,200 just went down the drain. It was really hard to pay attention to your videos. Sure, you shot them on cool looking cameras, but you're not changing lives the way you think you are. And I'm gonna call you out on that. So you need something. You need to actually be part of a group called ALTURA, and you need a tool called Vision, right? Vision teaches you how to think, and ALTURA is the community. And I'm giving both of those to you guys at the same time. And you can sign up for free right now. So one gives you the lens, Vision, and the other gives you the circle. Let me demystify this, right? So what is Vision AI? It's like a strategic, operational, and tactical guide that we designed for builders, right? Strategy, how do I accomplish my goal? Or what is my goal actually is strategy. Operational is what are the different routes I can take to accomplish that goal? That is my strategy through operation. And then tactical are what are the day-to-day little things I have to check off to be able to hit these milestones as part of my larger goal. That's your tactical level. That's what the military uses. That's what I learned going through the Air Force Academy, shout out. And that's what keeps any business as well floating. You need day-to-day, mid-level management, and then upper-level leadership. You talk to it like you basically talk to a mentor though. And although we can't all go out and hire VAs and a bunch of team from the start. You just need AI, or you need some sort of free resource to help you get accountable, right? You can't pay to get my coaching one-on-one because I charge thousands of dollars a month typically for my services, unless, we've been working together a while. Shout out to my clients out there as well too, but I have to give you guys that framework because I've already used it before and I've taught other people on it. But unless you don't have a mentor or can afford a mentor, you need something out there to teach you. So here's how Vision AI works. Here's my idea. Here's who I think it serves. And then here's where I'm stuck. And then Vision AI asks you 1 to 5 questions on the strategic level, the operational level, and the tactical level, and then responds with a precise roadmap. So positioning, your offer architecture, pricing, maybe audience segmentation, content angles, distribution, funnel steps, KPI insights and targets, and even a weekly operating cadence of things to do. Then if you want, we give you the actual exported text where you can copy your entire vision and print it out. Like we give you a PDF version if you want. You can copy it and put it into your notes app. And also the craziest part is it actually gives you a formatted different text you can copy, and it's formatted to paste into ChatGPT as instructions, which tells ChatGPT what your vision is. And then you put it in a new chat, and ChatGPT will then guide you from that point forward if you don't want to keep using our platform. And then ChatGPT knows exactly what your vision is without you having to train ChatGPT, because prompt engineering and figuring all that stuff out is so hard, okay? So we give you all the tools you need to success. This isn't a toy, and I don't want you to treat it just like another AI. This is an actual execution engine, and I'm giving it to you guys for free right now for being early. Eventually, it's going to only be part of the accelerator plan, or if you're a holder of our token, which obviously you can see on our site. So here's a quick example you could try tonight. Vision, here's my offer, right, is a cohort-based training for freelance editors, let's say. I want to put a course together to train editors on how to content clip. My ideal price point's $497. I'm targeting men 18 to 30, TikTok native, and I want a 90-day income roadmap. right? So then give me a positioning statement, a 3 email launch, a 7-day content map, and a cold DM that doesn't sound fucking desperate and needy. You get a cohesive plan in minutes after it asks you a few questions. It actually shows you from 0 to 100 the score, like a homework assignment in high school. So usually it's going to be between like 50 and 75 initially when it outputs your plan. Then you can keep chatting to it because it's literally programmed into ChatGPT. ChatGPT is the core infrastructure of Vision AI. So it has the intelligence of ChatGPT 5, which is part of the Plus plan anyway. So you don't even really need GPT because we give you, that's basically what's running our Vision AI anyway. And then you can talk to our AI and it'll get stronger and it'll update your score out of 100 as it learns more about you and keeps talking through. But again, you can always just export what you got and put it in ChatGPT and continue from there. You get a cohesive plan in essentially minutes, right? Can't tell because the lighting is covered up by this fuzzy thing here. So it always looks like my mic is dead. But then you hit, again, alturasociety.com. You open up the points challenge, and that's how you claim a share of $100 million as we hit $1 billion market valuation. We push to that. And then you get rewarded for movement, right? So if you want to grow our movement, you can just take action there. You can use Vision AI to help you figure out a strategy to use our points challenge to make as much money as possible. You guys could quite literally claim 1% of the points out of $100 million and pay yourself $1 million in the long run if we hit that $1 billion market valuation once we launch our currency, just because you're early and you claim more points than anybody else. Because information without motion is just trivia. The roadmap and the Vision AI is not just there to tell you what to do, like ChatGPT, but also guide you along specific actions. We also have a tasks logger, which shows up in the dashboard of Altura Society. And it's just like your reminders app on your iPhone, right? You can actually put in reminders and it'll tell you what you need to get done. And then the Vision AI will actually look through your tasks and tell you, hey, these are the priorities. How are you doing on these different things based on what you put in as tasks? And then it can kind of look through and give you feedback in real time. Because information, again, has to lead to some sort of action. And we want to reward what I call velocity. Basically your ability to stay in motion. Newton's law. So here's a truth I learned the hard way going through this too is markets a lot of time don't pay you for knowing, they pay you for knowing what to do next, right? Blackstone's getting paid millions of dollars on this Bitcoin short because they had access to the information, but they knew what to do with it, right? They knew to sell Bitcoin, cash out a few days before the tariff news, and then rebuy it at a low. Regardless of politics, right? And I'm not going to give you my stance on it, but you can clearly see that's a good financial move for them because they made money out of it. And they knew what to do to put themselves in a good position. Historically, the winners aren't the ones with the loudest message. They're the ones with the cleanest map based on the information, right? So me just telling you, get into e-commerce or get into copywriting like Iman says is not a good message. It's just making him a lot of money because he's using buzzwords and he's saying, you need to wake up at 5 a.m., you need to have a roadmap, but he's not actually telling you what to do. Vision AI is giving you the actual plan. And I've found so many times that I've watched his videos, I've watched the Guru videos, Jordan Welch, all the big creators, and I'm like, that's great, but you're not giving actual steps. And they always want you to buy their course, whatever it is. Vision AI is going to do that for free right now. And I'm tired of that. That's why I said, you know what, I'll do it if nobody else is. Because historically, the winners weren't the ones that were loud. They had planned. The merchants, right, who charted ships and knew trade routes captured the income because they had quicker ways to get from point A to point B. The engineers who standardized processes made their companies more money because they had consistent output and they weren't wasting money on their products. The founders who designed systems that turned messy inputs into repeatable outputs could maximize their cost for output, right? Like advertising, right? If I could look at the data of my ads and say, well, 80% more men than women are clicking on my ad. Okay, why don't we just target men? That's actually making improvements based on the output. And that's actually I can look at the facts that men are converting more than women to Altura Society. Then I could say, hey, what do I do next? You know, the obvious answer would be target only men. But in that instance, right, there's always going to be a percentage of people that would say, I don't know, maybe I just keep doing it to both parties. But unless you had the critical thinking ability to say, hey, here, I mean, that's an easy situation, right? But look at the data. I should probably only target men. You need an AI, you need a mentor, somebody to look at that with you and say, hey, this is what we do because of this. That's why mentors are paid so much money. That's why I make so much money coaching clients. And that's why Vision AI is just a replication of what I will do with you if I was sitting across the table from you. If you guys don't see the value there, I'm actually doing free calls. So you can go sign up on Altura, book a 15-minute call with me, and I'll give you my time for free right now to help you get on the platform and get situated. Yeah. In a loud economy, clarity becomes the asset class. Attention is great. Again, being early is great, but clarity is the only way through. It lowers your cost of making a decision because you don't have to think about all your options, right? You hear about Steve Jobs wearing the turtleneck every day because he wanted to minimize his decision making and save that kind of strength bar or his energy level for later in the day when he got tired and fatigued. But what if he never had to make a decision? That's the other thing, right? What if he just knew that the turtleneck was what he's going to wear? That's the thing you guys need to be thinking. That's why he was able to make more higher level decisions and push Apple to the highest value company of all time. It shortens your shipping lane from idea to revenue, because that's what manifestation is. It's me saying Altura is going to be a platform that people can log into, they can network, they can get clarity on their business, they can get access to funding, they can get the best education on the entire internet for entrepreneurs, and they can buy an NFT and get that passport for a lifetime that they could even resell later down the road. And as we grow, so will the value of their membership that they could resell. That was just an idea in my head one day, but I actually executed, and now ALTURASociety.com is a website you can look up in your browser right now. Taking that idea from my head and putting it into action is the hard step. And if I didn't know how to create a platform, how to register a website, how to do all that stuff, I wouldn't have gotten there. So you need people and you need the vision to be able to, and to see the clarity of that. And that's what Altura separates ourselves from Iman Gadji, Jordan Welch, a lot of Alex Hormozy, some of the biggest names out there who just spit knowledge at you. Okay, so I want to talk now about the Altura Points Challenge. Again, that $100 million fund potentially that you guys can claim a share out of, because this is where education meets incentives. Inside ALTURASociety.com, you can join for free right now, and then you can go into the Points Challenge and start earning points just by checking in every day. You get free points just for being on the platform. But then additionally, completing high leverage actions that help us push the movement forward. So that's inviting people that actually purchase is even more points, chatting in our actual community Discord, logging into the platform is another one. Using Vision AI, if you complete Vision AI for the first time, it actually gives you points in the Points Challenge. So you make money doing Vision AI instead of having to spend money on a mentor, which is actually a crazy promise, but it actually works. But the plan is to share $100 million US dollars once we hit $1 billion in valuation. But we're going to give you the tokens up front, right? So you can sell them early on if you want and cash out. But as the platform grows, as the subscription model grows, as the cryptocurrency grows to $1 billion market cap, that $100 million, the 10% of the tokens we'll be giving to you guys who participate, is going to build over time. So if you hold on to it, if you actually take action and you be early, right, where you can claim a larger share of that, you can even claim 1% very, very easily, because there's almost nobody doing it yet. So you guys are early. I'm telling you right now, watching this, you're early. If you go on the platform, you could be a millionaire potentially through tools, tokens, partnerships, scholarships, meetups, distribution rights, even discounted or sponsored access. This token, the cryptocurrency we'll launch, is going to give you actually utility value first. It's not just an investment. This isn't financial advice. I'm saying all the disclaimers, but the token's set up to be a utility token, right? So if you come to our conferences in New York, let's say you're not an NFT holder where you just get a free invite every time. If you use the tokens, you can get half off a ticket to come to our TED Talk 3-day conference weekend, right? In your local city once we host it there. And then things like that, right? You can get discounts on a ChatGPT subscription, discounts on Google Workspace, discounts on Adobe Creative Cloud, right? All the things you're probably using day to day to run your companies anyway, but we can get those enterprise subscriptions and share those with you. Legally and practically, we're not promising payouts. I want to make that clear. Obviously, I have to make that clear. We're building utility and real benefits and real access. And we're aligning the system so the people who move first, watching this right now, you guys are the people. If you're watching this and you're hearing me speak right now or within a week of this, you're early. Okay, so the time hasn't expired, but you need to move now. You need to show up. You need to go to ALTURASociety.com and you need to join the Points Challenge, and you need to do Vision AI so you can get points, but also to get clarity on whatever business you want to start, or just use Vision AI to figure out what businesses you could start, and join our community and start networking inside of our Discord to meet other holders that actually own the NFTs, as well as just people interested in our stuff. So the night's takeaway, my TLDR, is start earning points, which means eventually you'll get airdrop tokens. And as the platform grows, so will the value of the tokens very, very quickly. Because in this economy, your proof of work, just like the proof of everything we've put out, which is on our roadmap, which is on the alt page on our website, you can read it all through. You can see the actual math behind it. And that's better than any resume, showing the proof of how it's going to work. So let me explain why we chose this path. Because algorithms change every week. You can't rely on content to sell a subscription anymore. Highest bidder always wins. Communities charge the people inside of them constantly without giving true value. The oldest story in business is the truest, though. A small circle that actually trusts each other, that works together with shared language, executing on a shared map, right? I always use the American Revolution, the founding fathers. They knew what their values were, right? Giving the colonists right. That will always outpace a planet of strangers. And that's what every other community out there is. That's what Iman's platform is. I'm shouting you out, Iman, because I've been a member. I don't really feel like I'm getting value in there. And I can confidently say that. I paid the $1,200. That's 6 times the amount our NFT is. And meanwhile, Altura is a syndicate for entrepreneurs. It's a private network that's gated by NFTs or a month-to-month subscription, but the lifetime membership and the voting rights and the actual funding goes to the people with actual memberships, a set of tools and education that compresses your learning curve, a challenge layer that rewards your participation with real-world tokens and money backing it, and a longer-term token layer that connects loyalty with utility in the real world. I had to sneeze. Wow. There must be dust in here. If you felt alone building in the dark, this is your daylight. So I want to walk you through what to do right after this episode, and we're done here, I promise. First, go to alturasociety.com. ALTURA. Society. Hopefully you can spell that. .com. And click Vision AI once you log in the top right. Then start with a prompt, right? Like just start answering the questions. Click done. Your strategy can only be changed every 10 days. That way you guys have to put aside your ADHD and actually lock in and follow the questions. I simplified it so it's only up to 5 questions for the strategic, operational, and tactical. Export your roadmap, put it in Discord to share other people your vision and let them know that you actually have done it and you're dedicated to something. So that way they can reach out to you if they want to partner with you and we can start building that stuff up. Then if you're a holder, if you want to buy our lifetime membership, it's going to be way cheaper now than it will be in the future. If you want to invest, right, the money that you're spending on the token goes to us, goes into our Stripe account. And what I do with that is I put it right into advertising. I'm working on hiring a marketing agency that specializes in crypto, Web3, and entrepreneurship stuff to push us forward. Because eventually we're going to have celebrities endorsing us. We're going to be in Times Square. I actually do want to be in Times Square. I've been looking up advertising costs. I want to get an ad that has pictures of our actual members or maybe our token itself and push us quite literally to the entire fucking world in one of the most traffic spots on the planet. That's how big we're going to be. That's why we're outpaced Bored Ape Yacht Club at 10 Ethereum per token or $40,000 bucks. $200 now could be $40,000 later based on the historical results you've seen there. Again, it's not a promise, but you can see the historical data. And so next, get your Vision AI roadmap, which automatically earns you points in the challenge. So you already crossed that off. And you just got free tokens handed to you, right? That's guaranteed tokens because as long as you have points, you've earned a share of that $100 million pool because it's split up based on what percentage of the total points you have completed, right? So that way it awards people, it keeps it competitive. So just by doing Vision AI, you also paid yourself money. And then copy the scripts from the output of that, download the PDF, put in our Discord or put the prompt into your own chat GPT or just chat with Vision AI in the platform, put your tasks you have to complete down, let Vision AI look at your tasks and give you feedback on that. And then open the points challenge, log your actions, start inviting people and start earning actual money that will get airdropped to your account. That can pay for your NFT, or you can buy the NFT now and treat that as access and potential resale value later. But in one night, you went from fog, confusion, honestly, a little bit of pissed offness at the market, the politics, the economy right now. And then you have a plan because you watch this, and then you have motion, the most important part. You got motion twin, right? As they say, you've actually taken the vision and you executed on it. That's the entire philosophy. You didn't just stop because you said this would be a cool business idea. I'd like to start a podcast or a side hustle today. You actually figure out what that is with Vision AI. And then you joined Altura's Discord and you started networking with people and taking action. I want to be transparent for a second. The last minute, I promise, we're done after this. There's a lot of noise in this space and it pisses me off to see so many fake gurus guiding my generation toward wasting money. I'm sick of it. That's what integrity is. That was my entire college experience, my experience in the military. Integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. The 3 values. I've seen a lack of service. I've seen a lack of excellence. And most importantly, I've seen a lack of integrity from gurus that claim that they're going to change your life and don't fulfill. That pisses me the fuck off. I'm sorry for swearing. I'm just so heated about it. Projects that just promise, especially NFT projects that promise stuff, and then vanish. That's why I'm public. That's why my face is here. So you guys can come to my door. You can come knock on it. You can give me a phone call. You can book a call with me and say, what the hell? If I ever, don't fulfill my promise. That's how confident I am. I'm out here. Projects that vanish have no respect. Communities that trend for a week and evaporate have no respect, no integrity. We chose a different role. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm quite literally tying my LinkedIn profile, which means all my college instructors that I'm networked with, all my business connections, all my friends from back in the day, see Altura in my bio on LinkedIn, Caleb Schulke. I'd love for you guys to send me a friend request. And they see that this is what my life's work is about. So I'm throwing everything I've ever worked for in my life away if I rug pull this, right? I don't even think I can, right? Because the platform is quite literally already delivering value. But if I disappeared, it's gonna be pretty obvious that I will have no credit. I'll be Sam Bankman-Fried, right? In prison or whatever, probably. It's not illegal necessarily, right? But in this case, but I'm not, why would I ever want to risk my reputation? And also, this is the only thing I'd ever want to do with my life. My dream goal, and obviously you've seen that with Ascend, you've seen that with my YouTube, my LinkedIn, has always been service before self. It led to my military experience, led to me participating back in high school, right? As the student council, being class officer, things like that. I've always wanted to help lead people toward a better future and feel like I could play my part in it. It's just the middle class, blue collar, team football playing kid that I've always been. And I believe in that. I want Altura to do that for you guys genuinely. And I want to build value, which I've already done now, and then compound that. So you guys can truly say $200 to buy a membership pass has already returned me $15,000, $20,000 in value within a few months from now. Vision AI will give you the clarity. I've already made that to deliver for you. Points will give you discipline and also monetary output from taking action. Community is going to give you the compounding effect and access to people that are also working in your space. Membership and the tokens for skin in the game. As we grow, you grow in value. And when the timing's right, the token, right? For a layer that'll turn loyalty into everyday utility. Discounts on memberships, access to resources like credit card benefits kind of give you, right? Subscription deals and things like that. And ecosystem perks, especially for early members. The link is quite literally there. You can go buy your lifetime membership that you can resell later. I would recommend you buy multiple then, so you can keep one for yourself, sell the other one to pay you back later. Or just buy the month-to-month plan right now. You can just get Vision AI for free if you want that part of it, but join. Get clarity, get discipline, and get ownership. If you want to move faster than the noise, this is your only action. I'm Caleb Schulke. If this helped, share it with one person. Please do. Like, genuinely, this is on Rumble. If you're on Instagram, literally just hit the share link or just DM your buddy and say, I found this website. This is alturasociety.com. I would love it if you joined. It would mean this is my life's work, and you can clearly see I'm being genuine about all of this. So I'd love to invite you in. You can book a call with me. I'll give you 15, 20 minutes of my time and say, what's up, bro? I'd love to discuss your future with you. I want to help. If there's anything I can do in this difficult market, difficult time, I'd love to help. I just actually sent one of my teammates $30 in Ethereum because they were having trouble paying a bill this month. All I do is try to help people, and I hope I can help you guys too. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you in the Discord once you join and get access in the chat. Good luck out there. And as always,